Shaun Strickland, the new middleweight champion. What the hell is going on? Who could have predicted that happening? I'm ecstatic, to be honest. The last thing the majority of us thought was that Strickland was going to outstrike Israel Adesanya significantly. I almost couldn't believe it was happening when I was watching it. Oh! What? No way. No. Oh my god. Oh my god, sorry. Now, I also wasn't completely surprised because Strickland does have the highest striking defense in the middleweight division. He doesn't get hit a lot. Now, of course, he got knocked out to Alex Pereira, but who doesn't? He also had a close split decision loss to Jared Cannonier. But before that, he was on a 6-fight win streak. The dude spars 12 to 15 rounds every single day. He's a madman. Come on, Shaun. Show him who the real dog is. And I think Strickland is a prime example of someone who doesn't really improve that much in terms of the skills, but the sheer amount of volume and reps that he's getting in, you're going to be good regardless. If you just spar 15 rounds every single day for years on end, you're going to be pretty decent. Usually you don't build new skills from sparring. You learn them outside of sparring, then eventually you practice them with a moving human body who's fighting back. Strickland doesn't believe in that. He fought this whole fight with a 1-2 and a front kick or a teep. I was even saying it during the fight. All we've seen Shaun throw is 1-2s, the occasional hook, and a front kick. Now, I was saying in my last video, I try not to have biases. Some people have really bad biases. Joe Rogan. And I don't mind a bit of Rogan, but sometimes he says dumb stuff like Israel Adesanya is the greatest middleweight ever.
And he's winning. He's winning a striking fight.
Yes.
Yeah, he's better than Anderson.
He's better than Anderson.
But not by a lot.
I honestly don't know why people consider him the greatest middleweight ever or the greatest middleweight striker ever. He's really not. Anderson Silva in his 40s give Izzy a run for his money. He gave him a competitive fight. And if Anderson Silva was in his prime, he would have dominated Izzy. Anderson Silva used to move like it was the Matrix in there. Israel is typically a point fighter. People often get him confused and say that he's an exciting fighter. He's not really an exciting fighter as much as he is an exciting personality because he says off-the-cuff things and talks about anime. And sometimes he's got punchlines and rhymes. But I can rhyme too. There you go. Music link in the description down below if you like raw hip-hop. Izzy's fighting style can be a little bit lackluster at times. I did say I thought this fight was going to be a bit lackluster because Shaun Strickland doesn't exactly have an exciting fighting style, and neither does Izzy, so I thought it was going to be a little bit of a snooze fest. And I didn't like it when the Australian crowd were booing because I actually thought it was a pretty decent fight. It was fairly exciting, especially after that first round. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, but people often make the mistake of saying that Israel Adesanya is a KO artist, but if you take a look at his record, you can see he's actually not. Out of his 16 bouts in the UFC, he's had 13 wins, and out of those 13 wins, he's had 8 decisions and only 5 finishes, which is obviously still good, but to expect Izzy to be a KO artist or a finisher, it's not really grounded in reality. I predicted Izzy by decision because I just imagined it would have been a little bit of a flashback of the Yoel Romero fight, where Izzy just dances around, throws leg kicks, stays on the outside, and we could see that he did try to do that. He was constantly backing up the entire fight, but it was because Shaun Strickland was constantly on him with that pressure. I think DC said on the commentary, this is the first time we've ever seen Izzy be the mouse. Usually he's used to being the cat, but instead it was Strickland's with the pressure. And can we just take a moment to appreciate Shaun's striking defense? I actually thought the first few rounds were close, but then I started to realise Izzy wasn't landing any of his shots. They were pretty much all blocked or checked. Shaun does such a good job of staying in your face and not getting hit. And also credit to Shaun. I thought his power looked pretty decent tonight. He said himself he's not really a power puncher, but when he landed, you could actually hear the sound and the thud of his shots. Now, Izzy was being fairly elusive. He was doing his usual step to the left, fake left, and then go right. So then he'd circle out, but then Shaun would just put that pressure back on him, and then he'd end up at the cage once again. He tried to bait Shaun a few times like he did against Pereira, so he'd do this. But Shaun was just landing decent shots, and then Izzy had nothing to return. But I did want Shaun to throw with a little bit more volume. I said it during the fight. If he could just put his foot on the gas a little bit, he could have potentially have got a finish. You could even see at the end of the fight when Shaun was just screaming in Izzy's face. I was laughing my head off. It was so funny. And Izzy like had this look of confusion and frustration on him, like he didn't engage within it. And Izzy usually encourages talking in the fights. He's done it in the past, but this time he had nothing to say, probably because he wasn't on Twitter during the fight. And that ties into the next point. Izzy showing up to the post-fight press conference for like 3 sentences and then got off so his coach could do the talking for him. And I've got to be honest, I didn't watch it. No one wants to hear what the coach says. Everyone wants to hear what the fighter's going to say. But Izzy cleverly disguises it as, I've got to be present. I've got to go see my family. It's all about here and now. And he's got to say some cool anime anime quote and play it off as he usually does. So he says nothing at the post-fight press conference, but then guess what he goes and does? What does he usually do? He goes on Twitter and posts a video instead.
Fuck. What up? Woo! It's not that bad. Nothing broken. People touched up. Nah, we gravy, baby. Still thriving. It's all good. I hate losing, but I love living. And I'm thriving, so yeah. Hang out with the family first.
In Nigeria, though, it's like 20 minutes away from the
And I'll address the people. But right now, I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucius.
Remember, Izzy, respond, don't react. I hate the way he does this. Why can't you just address it there in person? You've done it on the pre-fight press conference. You didn't say anything. Then you went on Twitter and posted the video. Now you've done it on the post-fight press conference. You didn't say anything, but then you went on Twitter and posted the video. Now, I find this interesting. I've seen someone in the comments say this. No one give Edwards a chance against Usman, but he won. No one gave Duplessis a chance against Whittaker, but he won. No one gave Sean O'Malley a chance against Sterling, but he won. No one gave Strickland a chance against Adesanya, but he won. This sport is absolutely incredible. It truly is the best in the world. I love that comment. It summarizes the sport so well. It's so hard to be able to predict who's going to win a fight because there's so many different ways that a fight can go. It's not like boxing where you're just using your hands and it's a little bit more predictable. With MMA, anything can happen. And you guys know, the more you learn about fighting and the more you learn about MMA and the more that you watch it, the harder it is to predict. It's almost easier to predict when you're a casual. I've got a mate and he barely watches MMA. He watches like maybe 2 or 3 fights a year. And he can predict just by guessing better than I can sometimes when I know all the details. But sometimes you get wrapped up in all the details of how many different outcomes there can be. And you get confused and you confuse yourself and you're like, well, wait there. Izzy's probably going to win, but Sean Strickland could do this. He's got good strike and defense. Wait there. What if Sean Strickland wins? Oh, he's getting Izzy in his feels and he's getting Izzy emotional. Maybe Sean Strickland's going to win. But no, Izzy is strong emotionally. You end up just racking your brain and confused and you don't even know who's going to win. But that's what's so exciting about it. I'm a lifetime martial artist myself. I don't watch MMA to score rounds. I sit there with some sweets, Pepsi Max caffeine free as a fan and just enjoy it. I love it. But anyway, all this makes me think this might be the end of the Izzy era. Is he going to come back and reclaim the title? I think he probably could. That'd be quite impressive if he reclaimed the title once again. But after watching last night, I think Duplessis would actually beat Adesanya, who I think deserves the next title shot. Dana White's saying it should be an immediate rematch, which I think is bullshit. Izzy needs to get back in line and fight some of the up-and-comers. Duplessis has earned his title shot. And if I had to make a prediction who would win out of Sean Strickland or Dricus Duplessis, I'd probably favour Sean Strickland because of his strike and defense and his impeccable cardio. And the man can wrestle, he just never uses it. So I don't think Duplessis would be able to get Sean Strickland down. Who do you guys think could win that fight if that went down? Now, there's a few other random things I want to touch upon. Remember during the stare down when Sean Strickland wouldn't look Adesanya in the eyes and everyone was commenting saying Sean Strickland's body language looks off. He doesn't look Israel Adesanya in the eyes. Sean Strickland is scared. Anyone who says this, do you Muppets realise that looking someone in the eyes has no bearing on the outcome of the fight whatsoever? Who's the greatest fighter of all time? Shaun Jones. I think it's pretty much unanimous that everyone says that. He doesn't look at people in the eyes before the fight. It's usually the psychopaths who don't look at people in the eyes before the fight. It doesn't mean anything. In the same way that when you're actually fighting someone, it doesn't matter if you look them in the eyes or if you look at the shoulders. It doesn't matter. Here's Sean Strickland even addressing it.
So, like, I hate face downs because, like, I hate looking at someone in the eyes because, like, I'm going to, like, in 2 days, I'm going to try to murder you. I'm going to try to spiritually get to a place where I want to take your soul. I want to orphan your family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're going out there, you just got to, like, embrace this, like, I'm ready to die for what I want.
Now, the middleweight championship of the world wasn't the only thing that Sean Strickland won last night. He also won his official black card. He's trended on Twitter as DeSean Strickland. And for those that don't know, yeah, I'm about to explain this. DeSean is a popular name within the black community. Can't believe I've just had to explain that, but you never know. Here on the Shaun Jones YouTube channel, we want to educate our viewers. Maybe I should change my rap name to DeSean. Be a little bit more fitting then, won't it? And there's some absolute sick edits going around already of Sean with some cool music over it. Now, I might have to completely mute this bit or cut it out because it's copyrighted music, but give you an idea.
I'm a ride for my motherfucking
kid.
And I ain't going in, that's on with mine.
Kid, we got DeSean Strickland hitting that 1-2 combo, almost taking Adesanya out. Hey Drake, Izzy lost to DeSean Strickland. Did Drake put another bet on again? Whatever you do, don't copy Drake's bets because he always loses. Here's the infamous 1-2. Now, DeSean Strickland also put a video up on his Instagram reacting to the fight. Here it is.
After every fight, win or lose, I always take a video for you guys. You guys support me when I fail. You guys support me when I win. This fight happened because all you guys reaching out. You guys made this fight happen. So my team, my training partner, my fans, thank you guys. On to the next.
It's an absolute fantastic day to be an MMA fan. So congratulations, Shaun Strickland. Absolutely smashed it. I want to see him go on a crazy title reign. Comment down below your thoughts of the fight. Did anyone predict it was going to go down this way? If you did, let me know how much money you won if you put a bet on. Like this video. It helps out the channel a lot. Appreciate yous all. Road to 100k. Here we come. And I'll see yous all tomorrow.